Yo, what's happening, boys and girls? How the devil are we? Shanksy here, and welcome to my roster reviews, where we review yours, well, maybe not yours, but somebody's roster that's got in touch on the Discord and asked for it, and check it out. We get to see what they're working on, how many days played, how much spent, total collection power, and having a look at their teams. Now, we try and do these reviews as a community, so if you want to see, if you see anything in there that you'd be working on personally, make sure you leave them down below, because the more comments down below, the more it helps out for the person's roster getting reviewed, and the more it helps out for just as a community checking it out and seeing where they stand, what they're working on, and where their roster matches up with how many days played, how much spent, and all that type of good stuff. So the more people that leave advice down below, it really, really does help out. Hell, you might even disagree with me. That's cool. Leave it down below. I'm intrigued to see it. Let's grow as a community together. Now, if you're interested in getting your roster reviewed, you can join the Discord. The link is down below. Send me a message. There is a small charge for the service, and there are 3 different types, whether it be done within a week, 24 hours, or whether we have a Discord call afterwards and we go through your war teams. All of that stuff is in my Discord if you are interested in getting that done. And basically, the money that we raise from it helps go towards the channel and make more content for Strike Force. So it's like a revolving circle, you know what I'm saying? But enough of me flapping me gums. Let's get straight into it, boys and girls. What's happening, boys and girls? How the devil are we? Shanksy here, and today we're going to be having a look at Dosa's account. Dosa, I'm super excited about this one, right? He's pretty much a free-to-play player. He spent about 20 quid on the game over the course of 767 days, and he's only done a score. That, in my mind, is pretty much free-to-play. And one of the big things about when you're free-to-play or incredibly low spend is you've got to be super careful with your resources. Your resources are so much more valuable because you're not getting as many of them. So where you spend that, where you spend that gear, where you spend that gold, makes even the bigger difference. So in that time, he's amassed a 4.9 million collection power, with his strongest team being 484k. War MVP 1 time, and he's with DPC Task Force, which is Deadpool Corps. They're an absolutely great cluster and a great alliance. I spent some time with these guys during my Merc stint. Absolutely great bunch of guys. He's got 49 characters at max rank. All-time arena rank is rank 6, and his latest arena rank is rank 71. One thing that I will say is very important when you do hit that top 20, top 50 in the arena, is to try and stay in there, especially as free to play, because you're getting a ton more cores. It is tough sometimes. Like, I've fallen out of the top 10 myself multiple times recently, but it is super important for all those extra cores. It really does help. Right, let's have a little look. So the things that he's working on at the moment is to get Karnak, Ebony Mortar 6 stars, because he's got 6 red on Ebony. And then he wants to tighten up on his war teams. So what I'm going to be doing during this video is really trying to look where we're going to get the most bang for our buck, whether it be offense or defense. I'm going to be having a little look for that. But let's have a little look what we're working with. Straight away, that's a redonkulous Thanos. That is an absolutely redonkulous Thanos. 123k, 7 red star Thanos. Holy moly. Going on to 102k Phoenix, Black Bolt there at 92k, Hela at 85, Scientist Supreme at 81, with Spider-Man at 79. I feel like that Spider-Man might be a little bit too high. I don't know, I feel like he might have gone a little bit too, like, whee! But the symbiotes are a solid team, right? Minerva at 77k, Juggernaut at 76, Shuri at 75, Nick Fury at 74. Then we move down to Star-Lord at 74, Captain Marvel at 72, Shield Trooper at 71, 71. Again, Gear Tier 14. Shield Trooper, for those of you that aren't aware, is actually one of the people that you can take up to Gear Tier 14 with none of the uniques required for most of the guys, right? It's a very, very, very cheap character to get up to Gear Tier 14, but obviously not the most viable. So it's a very, I don't know, situational move to take Shield Trooper up to 75 Gear Tier 14. Magneto there at level 70 with 70k. I would well and truly recommend just going that extra one level on Magneto. Taking him up to level 71, you get a huge resistance boost, a huge focus boost just by that one level. And Magneto obviously needs that focus to apply his disrupt, his blinds. Well worth the one level investment there. Then we go down to Symbiote Spider-Man at 68.5k, Ultron at 68k, Crossbones at 66, Deadpool at 62, Mordo at 61, and Invisible Woman there at 59. Moving on down the list, we've got Groot at 58, War Machine at 57. That's a big 5 thread stars on War Machine as well. Venom at 56, Loki at 56, Yondu at 56. Mary Poppins, y'all! He used to be the best character in the game, in all fairness. Sabretooth there at 55. Wolverine at 54. Mystique at 51. Luke Cage at 51. Gamora at 50. Then we move down to Carnage at 49. Rhino at 49. Doctor Strange at 49. Captain America at 49. Night Nurse at 47. That's a big Night Nurse. That's a big Night Nurse. Level 70 for Pyro at 47k. Rocket Raccoon at 46k. Colossus at 46. Drax at 46, Psylocke at 45. Again, 5 red stars on Psylocke. There's a lot of decent red stars on this account as well. Considering there's been literally less than 20 quid spent on it, you and half lucked out on some red stars. From Psylocke, we go down to Cull Obsidian at 44k, level 66. Again, worth taking up, especially with that Thanos. Worth taking up to level 71 without a shadow of a doubt. He needs to be tanky. So getting the extra gear on him, the extra levels, is going to help him right out. Storm at 44k, Iron Man at 44k, Proxima at 43, Punisher at 43, Mr. Miles Morales there at 42, Corvus at 42, Elsa at 41, Ronan and Mantis at 41 also. Then we're going to move down to Shield Operative at 41, ready to go up to 6 red star. To be fair, not one that I would be rushing to take up to 6 red star. She's probably okay where she is at the moment. This all might change a little bit, guys, when we start looking at the teams, because we're going to be looking at individual teams, what's going to make the biggest impact to the wars when we're looking at the total teams, but also single characters as well. What single characters are going to really help? And as far as like single characters go, we've got Yo-Yo down there who's going to make an absolutely huge difference. But let's go, not skip ahead too quickly. Go Black Widow there at 41, Shield Security at 41, Heimdall at 40, Sif at 40, Shield Medic there at 39, Yo-Yo at 39, one of my favourite characters in the game. Jessica Jones at 38, Hulk at 37, Iron Fist there at 37 as well. Then we move down to Mr. Sinister at 37, Korath at 36, Shocker, Thor and Green Goblin at 35. With Miss Marvel, Ghost Rider, Mysterio, Human Torch, and Scarlet Witch between 35s and 33s. I would definitely be looking at a little bit more Miss Marvel. I'm still a big fan of the Heroes Brawlers. I really am, especially if you can get the tier 4s in her passive. That's a team right there. That is a team. You whack her with that crazy Captain Marvel up at the top there. Oh dear, you're going to be wrecking some faces. Right, then we go to Quake at 33, Daredevil at 32. Vision at 32, Killmonger at 29, Vulture at 29, Agent Coulson there at 29, Toad at 28, Namor at 28, Black Panther at 27, A Monstrosity at 26. Getting towards the bottom end of the roster now, we've got Umberto at 25, Nobu at 24, Hydra Scientist, Kree Oracle, The Thing. So we've got a couple of the Fantastic Four quite low. We've got Invisible Woman quite high though. So that might be a team that we can have a little bit of a look at. Hydra Armored Guard there at 22. Strife at 22. Strife has recently received an absolute massive buff. And the Marauders now are a bit of a pain in the arse to get through. Couple that with the fact that Emma Frost is coming out soon. And they're going to make them even more disgusting in war. That could well be a war defense team. That is well worth some investment in. Koye there at 22. Hydra Sniper at 22. Ant-Man at 22. Then we move further down to Sentry Boomer, Mr. Fantastic there at 21. Red Skull at 20. Winter Soldier at 20. Aim Assault of Falcon. Whoa, it's a small Falcon, baby. Hydra Rifle Trooper, Elektra, and Rescue there at 18. Then we go Blob at 18, Kree Royal Guard at 17, Merc Lieutenant at 17, Merc Soldier at 17, Riot Guard, Hand Assassin, Kree Cyborg, all at 17. Then Aim Security, Taskmaster, and Bullseye go down to 16 and 15. Again, for a massive war team, Taskmaster is well worth taking up to level 71. Bullseye with 5 red stars on him is actually very, very, very viable in that Merc team. And in my opinion, they are probably the hardest team to counter at the moment. There are teams that counter them, you know, New Brotherhood, Black Order. There are teams that counter them, but they're a very, very, very tough team to counter, in my opinion. So getting these guys up as high as you can is going to make life a lot trickier in Alliance War, without a shadow of a doubt, for the defense wins. Merc Sniper there at 15, Ravager Bruiser there at 15, Hawkeye at 14, Shield Assault at 14, Kree Reaper at 14, with Cable there at 13, pretty much 14. Noble, Graviton, Wasp, and Ultimus all between 13s and 12s. And then the very last page, it should be, oh no, we've still got a couple more. Stitcher, my guy, Nebula, well and truly deserves to be right at the bottom. I hate Nebula. I hate her. She's really good when the AI uses her. When I use her, she's shocking. Domino there at 10k. Cyclops there at 10. Aim Infector at 9.3. Hand Archer at 8.8. Hand Sorceress at 8.5. Negasonic there at 8.5. Hand Blade Master at 5. Kingpin there at 5.1. Then we go down to the final page, and that's Hydra Grenadier at 5. Aim Researcher at 400. Crystal, America Chavez, Karnak, and Ironheart. So you actually get in there with the old Karnak farm, and Ebony Moore sat there on 6 red stars, good to go. That is going to be one disgustingly powerful Black Order team once we can get Ebony Moore unlocked. With a 7 red star Thanos and a 6 red star Ebony Moore, you boost that cull up to level 71 as well with decent Corvus and Proxima, which you've already got. That's going to be a crazy, crazy, crazy team. Right, so everything's all accounted for. Obviously, X23 not unlocked, Ebony Moore not unlocked, but everyone else is there. Let's have a little look at the squads and see if there's anything that really sticks out to us. Right then, boys and girls, let's get into this one. So at the top of the shop, we've got a Guardians team, which is 275k power. But one thing that I've actually noticed straight away is 74k of that is coming from the Star-Lord. Where if 74k of that was coming from the Rocket, this team would be absolutely laughing, rather than the Star-Lord. The Star-Lord's a good character, but he's more of a support character for your big damage dealer. So what I would do to really strengthen this team is work on that Rocket Raccoon, get his damage well up. Star-Lord's going to be feeding him energy, and Rocket is going to be blowing people's faces off. Makes this a much, much more viable team. The thing is, when you build a team all close together, it's lovely. And when you get one character that scales ahead, ideally you want that character to be the damage dealer. Sometimes it's not always possible with red stars, but there is only a 1 red star difference between Rocket and Star-Lord. So it's obviously all on Rocket, Star-Lord's gear and whatnot, where he's getting that extra power from. It's well worth spending some time on Rocket Raccoon and showing them a little bit of love. Now, I'm going to be predominantly talking about these teams with war in my mind, as that's what we're looking to improve upon. So, further down here, this is probably one of my favourite war teams at the moment, is instead of obviously the Marauders in there with Sabretooth and Mystique, get Toad and Blob worked on. Even if you can only get them to like 30k each, they are crazy, crazy viable. It makes them perfect counters for Coulson Fury. It makes them great counters for the Mercs. It really, really makes them a very, very solid team. Even if you can only get them up to like 30 odd K, I would well and truly recommend doing so. Then we go down to this, I'm going to say like Kree team. And to be honest, any Kree team with Minerva and Captain Marvel is going to work out absolutely beautiful, right? I do like Captain Marvel on a Brawlers team, or she can actually then separate and form her own team if you've got enough Brawlers. So this team's absolutely cool. I don't really know if I'd probably use this. So for me, these guys can be used anywhere, right? These guys can be attack or defense, whatever. Captain Marvel is a defender. She is a defense champion. She's one of them guys that people look at, underestimate, whacking a smaller squad than they need to. Captain Marvel hits, wipes them off the face of the planet, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, hang on. So she is one of those characters and gets severely underestimated. I've had a mare in the past with different different Captain Marvels. So hopefully she's on a defense team. Ideally, you'd want to pair her up with get that Captain Miss Marvel, sorry, with the tier 4s, whack some hero brawlers in there, and really use these guys as just a Kree team or something like that. You could even do something like putting Minerva up here in place of Gamora, and that would make that a very solid team as well. Right, then we're going to move further down. Defenders, 203k, absolutely nothing wrong with that. Punisher being the biggest one of those behind Luke Cage. Ideally, we'd want Punisher a little bit higher, or ideally, we'd want some more red stars on Daredevil, but look, that's something that we cannot control. 200k is a solid number for the defenders. I personally like them between 200 and 300k. It's a solid number for them. Right, then we move down to the Power Armor team. But we've got a bit of a twist here with Black Widow and Captain America in here instead. Now, what I would say is these teams are like fairly meta for a reason. Now, what we seem to be doing is chasing the red stars a little bit. And while chasing the red stars is all well and good for Blitz and things like that, being for a war counter, it really does help stick into the script. So, for example, if we replaced Black Widow there with Falcon, even though it's going to be a bit of a drop down, like a lot of the red stars for Black Widow doesn't really help her. She doesn't get quicker. You know, she doesn't apply any additional buffs off the basis of her red stars. The red stars for certain characters really don't help them. And to be honest, Black Widow is unfortunately one of those characters. So even putting a smaller Falcon in there, when he gets the war bonus, and he gets that war bonus on his ultimate, it's well worth putting him in there for that extra damage. Then with a big war machine's going to clear up all day long. Now, again, it's totally personal preference, but I do like having Rescue in there for the offense up and to clear all negative buffs. And I still keep my Vision in there personally, although you could swap her out with Ironheart. And then you could start forming this team again round Vision, but instead of the Power Armor, we'll put some more guys in there. But that is all totally preference. That was literally moving that back to a whole Power Armor team. I think the Power Armor team is well worth it. They're a great war offense team. They will mop up BKTs 100k plus all day long. You know, they're a solid counter for a lot of big teams, and that mostly comes from Falcon, I'm afraid, with his bonus up on war. Right, then we move down to 185k on the Sinister Six. I like this team, absolutely solid, nothing wrong there. I like the fact that the Rhino is bigger than all of them. It's either Rhino or Vulture that I would like to see the biggest. So that's really cool. I wouldn't really actually do a lot more with this team as things stand. It's a solid team. I think we've got more places to look at to invest in rather than that team. So Sinister Six for me is good as gold. That is just a beautiful X-Men team. It's beautiful. I want to marry it. You know, I want to take it home, invite it to me, like meet me mum. Like, it's a beautiful team. There's nothing wrong with that. Leave that exactly how it is. Then we go down to 180k on the Wakandan team. Now, again, keep in mind, 75k of that is going to come from Shuri. The reason why you've got to be careful when you've got the support character so big, if you're looking at counters, so for example, what are Wakandans counter? Hero Brawlers. Any like Sinister Six, they counter really nicely. Really good burst team that goes super quick, right? But when you're looking at that counter, you've got to assume that everyone's there is like 40k. You know, if they want you to be a 250k team, they're assuming every one of your guys is 50k. Where you've got a 75k Shuri and a 27k Black Panther, it throws that counter out because of who it is. You know, if now this alters if the damage dealer is the bigger one, then it doesn't matter as much. But if it's the support, you've got to be careful who you're trying to counter, where you're trying to use them. Otherwise, you'll get caught out and just not put out enough damage and end up losing and not really understanding why that counter didn't work because of one incredibly big support character as opposed to a very big damage dealer. Then we move down to Ultron and the Marauders team. Absolutely love this team. Obviously, Emma Frost will be jumping on in there real soon. I would be looking at taking Strife up a little bit, as already spoke about, because I feel like Strife had his little buff. It's going to be a real tough team when Emma Frost comes in. Watch out for this team in War, guys. It's going to be a little bit redonkulous, in my opinion. Then we go down to the Asgardians. Now, this is exactly what I'm talking about again. Now, this time, Hela is the big number, and that's fine. You know, if Hela or Thor is the big number in this team, it's absolutely fine because they are the damage dealers. As opposed to if we had a really, really big Heimdall, then we've got a bit of a problem. So that's a beautiful team as well. Absolutely nothing needs to be done with this. With this team, I would definitely be farming out Ghost Rider and Elsa. I'll be trying to take Elsa up and get that extra red star. That would probably put her around the 48, 49k mark. And as a damage dealer, it's really, really spicy, right? So trying to take this team up to about 250. Yeah, 250 to 300 would be absolutely perfect. I currently run mine at about 310k power, and they are absolutely awesome. They're a team that I super enjoy using for some fairly awkward punch-ups or awkward matches. I really, really like them. There are certain tier 4s that are required to make the Supernatural team work, like Ghost Rider's passive, Doctor Strange's passive, that type of thing. And that makes them very viable to counter anyone, right? But definitely a team that's worth working on a little bit. Then we go down to AIM. Now, one thing I would say, we've got AIM Security, AIM Infector. I would actually rather put Researcher in here than Infector. I really don't like Infector at all. So I would probably drop out. Yeah, I'd probably put Researcher in there all day long as opposed to AIM Infector. I just don't think AIM Infector really brings anything to that team whatsoever. And definitely one of the worst AIM minions in the pack. Then we go down over to the Symbiote team at 297k. You guys know I'm loving my Symbiotes at the moment, although they're not sometimes loving me. I love the team. It's very, very big Spider-Man. I would leave this where it is at the moment. I feel like there's definitely things that we can work on that would impact the roster more than this team. It's a very strong team as is. Speaking about teams that would impact the roster more, this team right here would definitely help impact in the roster. This is an absolutely beautiful team. And the way that it's built isn't actually too bad. Putting a few more bits of gear onto the Human Torch here would really help out. Namor, leveling him up for war would really help. But keep in mind that is very war specific. Everywhere else in the game is very, very, very lackluster. So if I was to choose 2 characters out of that team, it would be these 2 characters that I'd work on. Maybe bringing him up to about 30 odd K as well. To give him a little bit of extra survivability. But taking this team to about 200k would be absolutely lovely. Then we're moving down to the Shield team, but we're not using Coulson. Okay, maybe we got Coulson further down. If not, get Operative out there. I know you were chasing the Red Stars again, but again, Operative doesn't really work on Red Stars. She might look better, she might look more powerful because of the extra Red Stars on her. And as opposed to like a 28k Coulson, you've got a 41k Shield Operative. You're actually better off with the 28k Coulson because of what he brings to the team. And those Red Stars are actually just giving her these false stats where she doesn't actually bring that much to it. So I would definitely be dropping out Operative and putting in Coulson there without a shadow of a doubt. Right, now it looks like this is our what we're going to do on U7 type of team. So it looks like we're type of going for a bit of a more and order without more. So what I would recommend, what I would probably try and do with this, what would I do? I would move Thanos over to here. I'd put Black Bolt here. I'd put Hela here. And I'd put 2 healers. So Minerva and maybe Shuri. Right, so I'd go Minerva, Shuri, Black Bolt, Thanos, Hela. Try that. It looks like this is like a bit of an offshoot, bit of a trying to work out what to do with U7. That is the team that I would give a whirl. Bit of a more in order. Thanos is going to be giving Black Bolt and Hela a ton of energy points. These guys are going to keep them healed up. I think that will work. If that's what that team is. As far as war goes, I would definitely never be using this team. He's a protector. You don't want to be using her with the protector. She's not getting the offense down. So making this team like literally, as long as these 2 are together, I don't really care who you put with them. Like as long as Black Bolt and Yo-Yo are together, they're beautiful. But yeah, I wouldn't be using this team for anything. Maybe this team's viable. This team's definitely viable. But yeah, if I was looking for raids, that's what I'd do. Right, now we move down to... I think this is a raid team as well. I like it. Yeah, nothing wrong with that team whatsoever. I've actually run that myself loads of times. And again, it looks like this one. Really, try that what I suggested there. Thanos in the middle. Hela, Black Bolt, Minerva, and then put in Shuri or Scientist Supreme, whoever really, doesn't matter. Any type healer's going to do a really good job. Right, then we move down to, again, I think this is a raid team. So then we move down to 110k Red Skull. This is a team that I would start looking at immediately. This is definitely a team that's going to help out big time. Unfortunately, Red Skull's not farmable. So taking them up to, I don't know, like 30k each, 40k each, getting this team to about 200k is going to make them very, very tricky indeed. Then we move down to, again, it looks like a bit of an experimental team. Now, obviously, with X23 coming out, she's going to fill up this squad, and that's going to be the team. One thing I will say, I haven't seen the Mercenaries, and I personally think, as far as war goes, the Mercenaries are going to be absolutely huge. Like, they are a massive team in war defense, an absolutely massive team. So, what would I be working on if war defense was my top priority? I would definitely start with the Mercenaries and Red Skull, right? Those are the teams, Hydra and Mercenaries. I would get them up. Make sure you're using that Bullseye in that Merc team as well. I'm going to do a video on about war defense coming up this week. Make sure you're using Bullseye in that Merc team. You've got like 5 red stars on him. Put him to work. Those two teams are going to make the biggest impact to your war defenses without a shadow of a doubt. And even if you're not picking up defense wins off the back of them, you're going to be drawing out much bigger hits from the enemy team, and that's going to slow them down in the long run. So those two teams for war defense. What would I be doing for war offense? Now, I'd be looking at individual characters, because you've got all the characters, you've got all the right pieces. I'd be looking at individual characters to work out. I'd be putting Coulson into that shield team without a shadow of a doubt. Don't worry about chasing the red stars. The red stars aren't the be-all and end-all. They look pretty on paper. They look like they boost the stats lovely, and they do boost the stats lovely. But actual, like, viability in the team is worth more than 11k power. Not in Blitz. In Blitz, it's the other way around. You want to stack your power up and get more points. But in War, let's be smart about what you're using. So I'd be putting Coulson in with a Shield Fury team. I would be working on Toad and Blob, getting them up to about 35k each, maybe level 65, because we can't go crazy. We've got to stay free to play and whatnot. 65, gear tier 10 or 11. All right, gear tier 10 or 11. Let's have a little look at them. Then that's going to be a phenomenal counter. Your Supernatural's actually in a good state. Your Power Armor, if I was to work on the Power Armor, I would be working on that Falcon, definitely. Falcon's going to be able to be used in loads of different game modes, so Falcon's a really viable character. And again, while you're doing that, you could even maybe have a little look at Ironheart. I've not gone crazy with Ironheart myself, but I would be putting in Ironheart over Captain America. So Rescue, again, sorry, Rescue is the one that I was actually hoping, and I think there was a half decent Rescue. Where was Rescue at? So I would be looking at working on Falcon and Rescue. I know she's here somewhere. I've probably passed her, right? I've probably passed her. I'm having a mare. But Rescue and Falcon for the Power Armor team, again, going to be very viable. There we go, 28k, 18k. Yes, we're going to be losing points and whatnot, but it's okay because of what their skills bring to that team. You know, if we can boost him up a little bit of gear, you know, take him even up to like gear tier 9 at the moment or something. Same with Rescue. That's a very viable team. Then, what would I be looking at as a third team? Obviously, still working on Karnak and that type of thing. So, once you've got Karnak, once you've got Ebony Maw, then you've got the Black Order. You've got 3 offense teams there with Power Armor, Black Order, and Fantastic Four as another one to work on. So that would be the 3 offense teams that I work on. Supernatural's good. Symbiotes are good. They're really solid. Asgardians are awesome in defense. Like, great team already done. X-Men, great in war offense, already done. We could even start looking at the Wakandans. I think there's probably bigger priorities out there than that. Yeah, so actually, we've got all the building blocks. It's now about just trying to be focused on what teams we're going to be doing. And those are my recommendations at this point. Right, that is all for me. Guys and girls, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Let me know down below, what would you do if you took over this account right now? Specifically, tailor your advice to war. Keep that in mind as well. I look forward to reading what you would do. Dosa, hope you enjoyed the review, my friend. And guys, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Turn them notifications on. And until next time, be smart, be strong, be safe. I'll see you on the flip side. You take it easy.